Hi, English class. I hope you're well. This week we're writing. We are going to take another crack at writing a story. We're going to make a few changes to the ones that we made last week. So let's go. So last week I asked you to write a story, and they were really, really good. I really enjoyed reading them. They were very, very creative. Some were very funny. Really, really great stories. However, grammatically and structurally, some need some changes being made to them. Okay, so the actual base of the story was good. We just need to make small changes to make it into a really nice piece of writing. So this is what we're going to practice today. So first thing I want to start talking about is sentences and paragraphs. So this is a really, really big sentence. This is one sentence, okay? How do I know? Because there is only one full stop. So if I was to try and read this out loud, here is how it would sound. She would ask him to pay for the broken china. She hurried back to the place where Giffen had been, but he was gone. There was no sign of him. She knew that he would never come back. Another person who bought a tube of Giffen's great glue was Scott Bridges. He had bought it to mend his canoe. It had broken in half. Scott's father had told him the canoe could not be repaired. He said that its back was broken. He told Scott to take it to the tip, but now that Scott had a tube of Giffen's great glue, he knew that he could fix it. This sentence is huge, okay? We need to make it easier for the reader, okay? If a reader doesn't have any problem reading it, they're going to find your reading much more enjoyable. This is going to be kind of important when we're doing any kind of assessment, okay? Somebody is going to mark your work. It's going to be a teacher. It's going to be me, but in other subjects and in the future, it's going to be a different teacher. It's going to be a different person. If your piece of writing is difficult to read, they are not going to enjoy it, even if the content is good. If they are not enjoying reading it, then they're not going to give you a good grade. So we need to make a few changes to make it easier for the reader. First thing we're going to do, some sentences. Now I've got a few full stops, okay? She would ask him to pay for the broken china. Stop. She hurried back to the place where Giffen had been. Notice how she asked him to pay and hurried back. They are both about the woman, the old woman from the story. However, they are different things. Different things are happening. So we need to have different sentences. However, they are still related, so we will keep it in the same paragraph. But he was gone, okay? There was no sign of him. This is still related because she's looking for Giffen. She knew that he would never come back. Notice how we have a different sentence, a different sentence. When something new happens, we need a full stop and we need to start a new sentence, okay? Now here, another person who bought a tube of Giffen's great glue was Scott Bridges. He had bought it to mend his canoe. Notice how here another person and then Scott Bridges and then here she, the old lady, these are very, very different. They're not related. These sentences are about the old lady. These sentences are about Scott Bridges. So we have our sentences. Now we need paragraphs. Now we know this paragraph here is about the old lady, and now this one is about Scott Bridges and his canoe. Notice how all the sentences are different. He had bought it to mend his canoe. It had broken in half, okay? He had bought the glue, it had broken. And now we have a new sentence about Scott's father. All related, so it's in the same paragraph, but different things are happening, so we need sentences. Look how much nicer this is to look at, just looking at it, and to read it, it's going to be a dream, which is going to help you when you write it, and you're going to get better markers because the marker is going to enjoy reading it. This, not very nice. This, much better, much clearer. Okay, so we need to have sentences and paragraphs. Next one, I or I. So when we talk about ourself in a story, so when we're saying yo in English, some people are using this form of I. We have to stop doing this. It's incorrect, okay? The I must be in a capital form, mayúscula, okay? It must always be in the capital form. I, lowercase alone, does not exist in English. So we have to completely avoid it. It must always be a capital, okay? I, capital, went to the mall to see my friends. We had lunch, and I, capital letter, bought a milkshake. Notice in this sentence, lowercase I does not exist. Only capital I, okay? Finally, past tense. This is kind of important when writing a story in English. When we write a story, we have to use past tense. The only time where you won't use the past tense is if a person is speaking and you are quoting something they say. But if it's a story, even if it's real or imaginary, we need to use past tense, okay? Even if the story is set 1,000 years in the future, so it's a futuristic story, we are still going to use the past tense. That's just how we write a story in English. Look at the Strapbox flyer story from yesterday. If you look at the story, it's all in past tense. Let's go back very quickly. Look at this. He said, but now Scott had, he knew. All of these are verbs in the past tense, okay? An essay, a report, an article, or a letter, other types of writing, they can be in present tense. They can be in the future. Depends on the situation. But a story is always in past tense. Okay? So, you're going to take a crack at writing another story today. I want you to write a story about your first day at Via High in first grade. Talk about your classes, how you felt, the people in your class, and what you did. If you can't remember exactly what happened, you can make some stories up to make the story interesting or funny. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate. Have some fun, okay? This is just like a template to follow. Now, your story must contain the following: sentences, paragraphs, capital I, past tense, minimum 180 words. Now, this writing is a little bit longer than usual. Why? Because the Cambridge exam this year, you will have to do a piece of writing which is this long. However, today we have 2 classes. I'm going to give you both classes to write and upload your story to Google Classroom. I will be online for both of the classes if you have any questions, okay? So you have this class and the second class today to write your story and upload it. Because I'm giving you 2 classes, it's very important that you follow all of these rules if you want to get a 10. If you don't follow all of these rules, I cannot give you a 10, okay? That's the end of this video today. I hope you've learned some things about writing a story, and I really look forward to reading your stories. So good luck. Let me know how you get on.